Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you guys my, I think, 4th round of the 2024 Winter Combe Junior Karting Championship. This round was the first one to ever see more than 4 karts in each heat in the juniors category. Because the karts have now stopped breaking down and there's a lot more drivers coming to each event, the people who run the championship have decided to put 5 karts in each heat instead of 4 like it used to be. I'm pretty sure this will fluctuate between each round and the amount of drivers there is in each one, but personally I like this change. But because the lights have just went green, I'll discuss this a bit later. I don't get the greatest start, so I say in P4, then the driver in P5 comes barreling in at turn 1 and overtakes all 3 of us. Going out of the corner there, I get a better run than the guy in the red suit, and going out of the chicane, we see that the driver who overtook all 3 of us has spun, giving us another free position. This means we're now in P3 and just need to catch up to P2, and then we have a good finish already. Going into pit lane corner, I try to send it as he goes wide, but he closes it just enough so I don't get the position, so I stay in P3. On the next lap at the hairpin, he goes a bit too tight, so I go wide, try to get a switchback on him, which works. I get a better exit, I hook my cart on his cart, and that means I have the inside line for the pit lane corner, allowing me to get ahead of him by the double apexes. Now it's just a matter of trying to pull a gap and hoping that the two behind me start fighting each other so they lose time and I don't have to worry about losing any positions. And that's the race. Nothing much happened other than me just driving around by myself, so I just sped it all up and put some music over it, because I didn't want to bore you with just 3 laps of absolute nothingness. After that session, I felt quite happy, quite confident for the day, and pleased with how I was driving there, since 4th to 5th to 2nd was quite a good thing. However, I knew that if I didn't get any first place finishes, I would have a very hard time, as it was 1 point for last place, 2 points for 4th place, 4 points for 3rd place, 7 points for 2nd place, and 10 points for 1st place. Anyway, now it's time for our pole start heat, so we have to keep this position in order to do well for the day. Unfortunately for me though, I had the championship leader, Kian, right behind me in 2nd place. As lights go green, we are hoping for a good start, which we don't get as Kian demolishes us, so we try to hook our cart on his, which works. I keep the inside line for the hairpin and going into the chicane. Coming out of the chicane, I'm on the outside, but inside for the hairpin, and Kian is on the outside. Coming to the hairpin, Kian has more overspeed than me, but I get a bump from behind, allowing me to get ahead of him still. Coming out of the hairpin, I didn't know this at the time, but it seems like my teammate Ethan McNally was able to get past Kian by following me through, and Kian has now dropped to P3. Now for a quick other subject, I sincerely apologize to Kian if he's watching this, because it seems like when I was trying to hook my cart on his, I accidentally pushed him into the barriers, which nearly made him fully stop in the cart. I really apologize for that. I had no clue that happened, and I didn't feel it at all while I was driving. I'm sorry, Kian. Okay then, we have now finished the race, and we have finished in P1, which is really good. Just again, I want to say sorry to Kian, because I really did not realise how bad what I did was during the day, and I did not mean to do it. My apologies. Okay then, it is now time for my 3rd heat of the day, where I'll be starting in 5th position, I believe. So, let's see how I can do. I'm confident I can get maybe 2nd or 3rd in this race at least, since I can just follow Ben Hunt through, since I know he's really quick, and that we're most likely faster than everyone else in this race. Right off the start, Ben Hunt gets a great start, which allows him to get P3 almost instantly. I got the inside of P4 going into the chicane, which allows me to get 1 position myself. Unfortunately, however, due to the little bumps I've got from the other driver going out the chicane, I've lost a lot of time to P3 now, so I'm not actually quite sure that if I'll be able to get another position. now, coming across the finish line, I feel like a bit disappointed because I knew I had the pace to beat second and third and gain more positions, but because of the gap earlier, I just wasn't able to catch up to them, which made me finish in 4th place. Alright then, we are now in our 4th and final heat of the day, and I counted the points earlier and realised that if I finish first in this heat, I have a guaranteed 4th place start in the A final. This means I need to have a good start and not allow myself to be overtaken on the start. As lights go green, it seems like again average start, but then apparently my car just decides to start really accelerating, so I'm able to get ahead of the driver in P1 by the first turn. Now that I've got the position I need, I just need to keep it and hold it for the rest of the race. Let's try pulling a gap to the drivers behind. As I can see they're fighting behind me, I just know that I need to just drive, and try to get my head down to get a gap, because they're going to slow each other down, which will just let me win the heat. And we did just that. Nice, consistent driving all throughout that race, just allowing me to drive away and get P1 for basically free. Now, with this amount of points, and my lap being hopefully the fastest out of anyone else with my amount of points, I should be able to have P4 in the A final. Now then, it is time for the A final, and it seems like my prediction was right. I did get 4th in the A final, and it was just because I had the faster lap. This means that as long as I get a good start and don't make any stupid mistakes, I should be fine in terms of the race. I am starting behind 2 of my teammates, Rocco in the red and Adrian in the blue, right in front of me, who, if I work together with, we should be able to just pull away and maybe even one of us will take first place. Okay then, the lights go green, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting any good starts. Cash Harris goes up my inside here on turn 1, and I drop down to 5th place. Going to chicane, Rocco also accidentally pushes Adrian into the barriers slightly, which loses him a lot of speed, allowing Cash to go up his inside as well, and he comes out 3rd out of the chicane. As for Pepin, I'm trying to defend from Mason Turner, who is trying to go around my outside, but he keeps the outside for line for the pilling corner, so I try to defend it again, but I have to leave him enough space going into the double apexes so that he doesn't get stuck in the barriers, allowing him to overtake me. Going on the chicane onto the main straight, I also clip a barrier, which loses me a lot of speed, so I look behind to see if I'm getting swarmed by anyone. Unfortunately for me, even though he was half a cart length behind me earlier, because he's so light, he still manages to go up my inside somehow, which I don't see as I'm looking behind me on the other side, which then makes him spin me out and loses both of us a position. Now, as there is absolutely no hope of recovering my positions, I just have to drive and do whatever. As we come through the last few corners, we finish the race in 7th position, which is a shame because I had a lot of potential to actually get a podium this round, but unfortunately it just didn't work out. So I'll have to try again next round, which shouldn't be too long from now. Anyway, I thank you all for watching this video, and hope you'll do me the courtesy of possibly liking this video, and maybe even subscribing to the channel, as it would be all much appreciated. Also, I hope you have a good day, and hope I'll see you in the next video, maybe.